and just sunk my truck. I mean, just buried it. Well, here's the deal. It's a Friday afternoon, and it has been one heck of a week, let me tell you. I have had emotions kind of all over the board this week, from the world is falling apart to severe depression on I'm going to need to figure out something new and completely rework the plans that I had for my future, to finally everything's coming back together and problems are getting solved, and maybe the world's an okay place to be in after all. I won't go into a lot of details, but it's just everything that's happening in the world with supply shortages and struggling to find employees and price increases. I mean, it's just been it's been pretty strenuous on a small business owner. So be kind. Be kind out there in the world when you're going to shop and prices have doubled overnight, and you can't find someone to help you in the store or something like that. It's a hard world, pretty stressful. So I decided that my outlet for this weekend is going to be somewhat of a necessity. Self-care is always a necessity. Doing something that you love is important regularly. But this is a necessity because we're headed into winter, and I burn firewood at my house. We have a wood burning stove, and that's how we heat our home. We have a gas furnace as well. If we need to, we can use that. But the wood burning stove is cheaper, and the heat is so much better. I tell you, you have not lived until you have had something in my throat. You have not lived until you have sat in front of a wood burning stove and just soaked in that heat coming off of it. That's how I grew up, and that's something that I've just really enjoyed. So I'm gonna go get a load of wood, which means I've got to travel about 45 minutes up on the mountain, and I've got 2 logs that I picked out probably 2 months ago on a camp trip, and I'm hoping they're still there because they're really good ones. They're easy to get to. It'll make the job pretty easy to cut and load. If those ones fall through, there's 2 others in a different spot that I found about 6 months ago on a camp trip that I think will probably still be there. Either way, we'll find something, but I'm really hoping those first 2 are there. So as you can tell, I'm in my truck. Not the usual. It's not the usual set of wheels that I'm driving on these adventures, but you can't beat the pulling power and capability of this truck. So I've got my co-pilot with me, Toner. She's chilling, and we're gonna keep on trucking here and see if we can't get up on the mountain, make quick work of this. My one restriction is that I've got to be home in, what time is it? I've got to be home in about 4 hours. So I've got to get up, cut, load, back in about 4 hours, because tonight's movie night, and that means that we're going to eat dinner in front of the TV and watch a movie as a family. So I need to make sure that I'm back in time for that, because that's just that's important, and it's just a lot of fun. So that's the plan. I'm gonna hit the road and make it happen. by chance those logs are still here. Now I found them down here. The one that's still standing or leaning, I guess, is a little bigger than I remember it being. But the one on the ground still looks good, so we're gonna try and navigate our way in here. Hope that I don't bump any trees or fall in any holes. Last time I was out getting wood, maybe I'll try and throw a picture on here. It had rained like crazy, just absolutely poured in here, and I had to go around a tree that had fallen across the road and just sunk my truck. I mean, just buried it. And but the ground's feeling pretty solid in here, so navigate my way in here, and there she is right there laying down. Someone cut a section out of it. I'm not sure why they didn't finish cutting it, if they decided they had enough of a load or not. But it looks like dang good wood, so I'm gonna try and maybe I'll just pull through here and then we'll figure out getting turned around. See if we can't get that puppy cut up and loaded. Well, I changed my shirt and hat, as you can see. It's not a new day, I promise. I just put on, this is my work shirt. Kind of got some stains and stuff on it, rather than what I was wearing before. And then of course this is my adventure work hat. So this is the wood. I'm guessing they probably quit cutting because of that stuff there. A little bit punky, a little bit rotten, but honestly that sucker's solid. I'm sure someone's gonna fight with me on that, but that right there is a good log, and that might fill me up. I was hoping that that one there would have fallen down by now, and I was thinking, well, if it had it, I'd hook a chain to the bottom of it and pull it over. But that's a little bigger than I remember it being. That's a pretty big tall tree, and I'm out here on my own today, so I probably won't mess with something that's a little more risky like that, just because I want to make it home to my family. But there's plenty of wood here, and even if this doesn't fill me up, I can see a couple over there that I might be able to top things off with. So I'm gonna get saw gassed up. Toner's gonna chew on that log a little bit, and we're gonna get to work. Well, I apologize. Oh, I did not see that the battery died while I had my back cut, or my back turned and cutting. But here's an update. Toner's found herself a juicy bone that she's really enjoying right there. This is what I've got cut so far out of here. A bunch of those big rounds cut up. Started working on some of these smaller ones as my chain was getting a little bit duller. So we're I don't know, probably about 2/3 of the way there. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep cutting. I'll probably just keep cutting until I run out of gas, and then I'll put put some more gas in it, but before I put some more gas in it, I'll sharpen that chain once and just give it a quick work over, and then probably finish cutting the base of that. I'm gonna roll some of those away. Some of the bottoms looked like they were getting kind of soft. You could just tell the sawdust coming out was more powder than good chips. So I'll probably roll that away and make sure that it's still good, and if it is, then I'll cut back probably pretty close to that burn there. It looks like it's pretty rotten at the base there, and that's probably why it fell over, probably why both those fell over. Cut as much as that I can, and then come up to the top here, cut that until there's nothing worth hauling out, and then once I'm done cutting, that's when the real work begins. And I've got to load it all. Luckily this is good seasoned wood, so it's not too terrible heavy. Some of those ones down at the bottom will be. I'll make sure I put them in the front of the trailer and make sure they get loaded first on that tongue. But I just want to spin you down here while I'm spinning you around while I'm taking a break, and just let you see this country up here. Absolutely beautiful. Doesn't get much better than that. Absolutely beautiful. This is just a really good break to get away from work, do some manual labor, make me feel like a man. Oh yeah. You know, the old Tim Allen, make me feel like a man kind of a deal, and provide some wood that we'll burn through the winter and enjoy thoroughly. So I'm gonna get back at it. Oh, and don't worry, I'm not having any vehicle problems. That's just my sharpener down there on the ground. A little electric sharpener. There again, I'll probably get some guff for that, but I'm not a lumberjack, okay? I'll openly admit it. I am not trained to take a rat tail file and sharpen my chainsaw. And that little electric sharpener's got the guide on the angles and all that stuff, and I need that extra help. So anyways, I'm gonna grab a couple more swigs of my soda here, give my back a rest, and then we'll get back to cutting. How's that for precision, huh? Right in between these trees. Boom. Well, quick sit rep for you. My previous assessment that these big rounds wouldn't be that heavy was incorrect. They are good seasoned wood, but like I mentioned before, this mountain has received a lot of rain over the last probably 3 months. I'd be interested to see the figures, and that includes a storm that laid some snow down. You can still see it. Maybe you saw some on the drive in on some of those north facing slopes, and so even though it's good seasoned wood, it is quite wet. So it's heavy. That's what I've got loaded so far. wanted to show you my little step system I've got here on this truck, which is nice for this kind of stuff. So this is my step up here. So then I take this big heavy guy, get it positioned a little bit further away. All right, so it tips up on the edge of that, just like that. And then we go heave up on there. And then we simply roll it up the ramp and into the trailer. So that's how I've been loading these monsters. This one here is cut a little thinner, and it's got that nice big handle on the side. So if it ends up being the last one to load, it'll just take a good grunt and it'll be in. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to cut much more off that base. I think we're going to be good. I've already got the bottom laying here. Depending on how stuff settles up top, I'll go 2 more layers, but I think I'm just going to keep working up this way because my back says that it's going to go on strike if I keep cutting that base. So I'm going to load a few more, then we're going to sharpen things up, and we'll hit it, finish it up here. Okay, sit rep. Got all the big heavy stuff loaded out of this line, and trailer's sitting good and low. I started putting some of the bigger ones in the back of the truck, help carry that load. These ones are getting easier to load. That one there will probably be a bear because it's a little bit thicker, but the rest of these aren't going to be bad. So I'm going to keep stacking them in and see if we can't wrap up. We're gonna be late. I already sent my wife a text and said I'm not gonna quite make it. Go ahead and get started without me, but I think I'll still be able to make it for a good portion of the movie, and hopefully dinner will still be warm too. So I'm gonna get back at her. Well, we're almost there. Just got those little guys to throw on truck and trailer. I left my saw out. And the reason why I do that is just in case there's a big old branch or something that's buried. A lot of times these big trees, they'll fall down and one of those branches will just impale straight into the ground, and you cut those rounds and you can't get that round because the branch is wedged into the ground. So lesson learned on that one. Another important life lesson for you: get all your straps and netting, whatever you're going to do to tie these down, out before you cover up your toolbox. I've got another one there too, but this one carries all my straps. I've learned that the hard way also. Loaded everything up and suddenly I can't get to my straps. So there you go. That'll save you some heartache next time you're carrying that big load. All right, folks, we're loaded. That's a good load of wood, and it's good. It's good wood too. I'm pleased. I'm really pleased. So the final thing to do, fill out paperwork, and I'm gonna go slap my permit on, and we're gonna strap it down. All right, I'm not done yet, but I had to show you this. Look at that glow. Isn't that just, that evening glow, isn't that just beautiful? I mean, love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, pizza and a movie's waiting for me, so I'm gonna get to this so I can get home and enjoy the fruits of my labors. I guess probably the fruits of my wife's labors. We're getting it done. Man, that's great. I was just trying to find a way back on the road. This has got a, probably doesn't do it justice in the film here, but a pretty deep ditch there. But I think if I can come through here, this isn't bad. And so now I'm going to walk my way back to the truck and see if I can find a route to get over here. It's just been a great evening. I've just really enjoyed coming out here and doing some of that hard work. There's just a lot of gratification in that kind of a thing. That hard manual labor really makes you feel good that you've accomplished something really neat. So and then to be able to be up here on the mountain, just this beautiful setting. The temperature is fantastic. I mean, just great. You can't beat it. Really nice temperature up here. And then, like I said, that evening sun, I mean, come on. Doesn't get any better than that, does it? I do have my drone with me, and I would send that up, but I need to get rolling. So you'll have to let me know in the comments if that's something you really enjoy, those drone shots that I do. And if that's something you really enjoy, I'll make sure I try and fit them in for you. And make sure I incorporate that in the videos, because guaranteed this would look fantastic. Cruising through those trees like that, I think it'd look great. But like I said, I'm just out of time. I gotta get home. I think we're ready to roll. What do you think, pup? Ready to go? Huh? Yeah, I think we're ready to roll out and see if I can pick my way through the forest here. Remember which direction I walked back from. And then we'll hit the dirt road and then the paved road and be on our way. But for a snack on the way home, I've got myself a good old sports drink. And then these guys, I like these pretty good. Pepper jack cheese, not a sponsor again, but pepper jack cheese and a little beef stick there. So I'm gonna chow down on that. I'll probably share with Tone or two, and hit the road and get on out of here. What, you think you're driving, huh? Do you think you're driving? What's the deal? What's the deal, huh? What's the deal? I made it to pavement. I like to stop just one more time, check all my straps, make sure everything's good. It's kind of giving a chance to rumble down dirt road, everything settle a little bit, so it's just a good chance to check everything out, make sure everything's in good shape. But looks like we're good. We're ready to hit the road and head for home. So appreciate you coming along. Hope this was interesting to you and gave you a chance to kind of see what one of my chores looks like on a daily basis. So till next time, lock them in, grab a gear, and I'll see you out in the hills.